Okay, let me show you the AG300 kit from Angle.design. This is the biggest kit they make with all the stuff you need for all kinds of cutting and routing. Now the kit comes with 4 rail sizes. The first one is a 51 centimeter rail guide, and you've got a 90 centimeter rail guide, and there's one that's 120 centimeters, and the longest one is 150 centimeters. And it also comes with this rod to attach 2 of the guide rails together so you can make even longer cuts if you need to. And then it comes with 3 main rails. This is the one that you'll mostly use for the longer rail guides and the diagonal bar. This one is the main rail extension that will add on to this one if you need to cut longer sheets. And this small one attaches to this 51 centimeter rail guide for cutting gutter bracket slots. And then this little attachment here goes with the gutter bracket slot cutter. You also get 2 measurement stops that go on the main rails and a router bit that also goes with this kit. And the last piece is an angle holder or stopper, which goes on the 2 smaller rails. And I'll show you, it has all the angles laid out on it. You can use this to secure the angle that you need. Now what Angle.design has come up with is a really cool track system for track saws, routers, or anything that goes onto tracks. And they've made it really easy to set up, really easy for finding angles, and really easy for doing repeatable cuts. So depending on the size of material that you're cutting, you can choose any of the sizes of the track guides or add them together to get whatever length you need. And to show you how it works, I'll use the 150 centimeter track. So what they've got in these tracks is little holes that are also magnetic, and on the main rail they have this corresponding magnetic circle. And all you do is come and clip it in, and then you use this diagonal bar, and it will also come and clip in magnetically to that slot right there. And as long as you're set on the 0 degree right here, you know you have a perfect cut. And you'll just slide the whole system where the main rail comes off the back side of your material, and the guide rail will sit on top of your material. And then you can use your track saw, or if you're using a router with a track guide, you can come and mount it on and make your cuts. And if you look right here, you can see you have all the angles down here along the main rail. To start off with, this is the 0 degree cut. And if you loosen this off and pull that up, it will come out of a positive stop. So when you go to make adjustments, it will clip in at the 0 degree so you know exactly where you are. And that makes it really easy to find and set any angle that you need. And once you tighten it down, it's nice and solid, and you can line up and make as many cuts as you need to. Now the kit also comes with these measurement stoppers. And it's just got a little slot that slides in really easy into your main rail. And then it's got a flipper for hooking onto your boards. So let's say that I wanted to make a whole bunch of cuts at 45 inches. I would just come and set that right there at 45 inches. And then I can slide the whole thing over till the stopper comes down, pull it tight, and that's 45 inches. So as you can see, this makes it really easy for tasks where you've got a whole bunch of repeatable cuts. Like let's say you're working on some cabinets and you've got a whole bunch of cuts to make that are largely the same size. You can set it up with the measurement that you need and the angle that you need without having to pull out a pencil and a tape measure and mark the board each time and set your track on and make sure it's right. This allows you to make the cuts much quicker. And now if you need to make a whole bunch of repeatable cuts but at a much longer distance than the 48 inches you have right here, this main rail extender just slides right into here, and then you tighten it down, and then you can set your stopper all the way up anywhere to just over 98 inches. Now these 2 longer tracks all have the holes, and we'll always use this diagonal piece for setting the angles. The 2 smaller ones, however, also have the angles on the track itself for times when you can't use this. Now this one can, as you can see, it has those holes, but there might be some times where you don't want to use that or don't have the space to use that, and definitely on this small one you can't use it. So for situations like that, you'll take this angle piece out, and you're going to slide this angle holder in. And now if we're using the 90 centimeter track, we're going to come and clip it in just the same, and you can see all the angles here down the side. And if we wanted to cut it right at 0 degrees or a perpendicular cut, just slide the stopper over right at 0, and then that locks it in place so it can't go anywhere. Or if we wanted to do, let's say, a 45 degree cut, we would find the 45 on the main rail until this little pointer here points right at the 45, and we can come and lock it down. And now it's set at 45, and you can come and make as many cuts as you need. Now another cool feature about these is, like most track saws, they have this rubber splinter guard on the one side for using your track saw, but on the other side it's all aluminum, so you can actually flip it around and clip it in and set whatever angle you need. And if you're cutting stuff that needs a knife, now you can run your knife along the edge of it rather than cutting up this rubber guard that you have on the other side. And as I mentioned at the beginning, they do have this track extender unit. You just slide into that groove, and then you can tighten it down and add tracks together to get even longer tracks. Now I'll show you how this gutter bracket slot system works. We've got a much smaller guide rail, because that's all you need, and a much smaller main rail. Clips together just the same with the magnets. Use the same angle holder that I showed you before. It just slides in, and you can set it at whatever angle you need. In most cases it's going to be zeros. And then this piece slides in after you made your initial slot, and you know at what intervals you want to make more slots. You can set this at whatever that might be, say 22. So you can slide this into whatever slot you just cut, and then make another slot, and then move to that slot and work your way all the way down the roof. And then this piece here is the same size as the router bit that comes with the kit, which is also the same size as the gutter brackets. Now, I've only seen these gutter bracket slots on houses that I've seen being built in Europe. But maybe there's guys that do it in North America as well. Essentially what you're doing is using your router with a guide, you're cutting some slots, and then the gutter bracket hangs in below the top of whatever your roofing is, and then has a little angle in it that holds the gutters. So this is a really quick and easy way to go along and make all those cuts at predictable intervals. So this whole system from Angle Designs I find very well thought out, very well engineered. It all fits together perfectly. All the knobs and attachments work really well. It's easy to read, it's easy to use, and will come in handy for a lot of different tasks that you'll be doing either in your shop or on the job site, especially where you've got a lot of repeatable cuts to do or angles to find, with any track tool that will go on a track and make cuts.